Hey guys, CaptainAquatics, and in today's video we are going to be discussing care for the fire eel. Let's get started by talking about the tank size and setup for the fire eel. For tank size, for an adult specimen, you are going to be looking for a tank size of 250 to 300 gallons, as they do get quite large, as will be discussed later in the video. However, smaller specimens can be kept in smaller aquariums, like the fire eel you are seeing in the background of today's video is currently in a 130-gallon aquarium, where I am growing him out until he will eventually be moved into a larger setup. For setups, you're going to be looking for a nice sandy substrate. They like burrowing and they often run along the bottom. You don't want gravel to scratch them up. You're going to want to provide hiding spots with PVC pipes, driftwood, rocks, large rocks that they won't scratch themselves on, and just any kind of very sturdy live plant that they won't root up, such as a nubius that can be tied to some wood. Another very, very, very crucial part of their tank setup is to ensure you have an extremely tight-fitting lid. These eels are masters of escape. I have had many fire eels, and almost every single one of them I have lost because they have somehow managed to eel their way out of an aquarium, even when I had no idea how it was possible that they could have gotten out. Moving on from tank setup to water parameters, you are going to be looking at a water temperature between 76 to 82 degrees to keep them nice and comfy. Water quality, of course, ammonia and nitrite, you're going to want to be at absolute zero, and you're going to want to try to keep those nitrates below 20 parts per million through regular water changes and maintenance. Moving on to tank mates, you're going to want to find peaceful tank mates that aren't going to bother them. Fire eels will eat tank mates that are small enough to fit in their mouths. They do have fairly small mouths for their body, but will still go after fish like guppies and swordtails and mollies if given the chance. So for tank mates, you're going to be looking at larger peaceful catfish. I personally keep mine with angelfish and stingrays at the moment. However, I have kept mine with almost any species of fish you can think of. I've kept mine with my Oscars, who tend to be a little bit more docile. I've kept them with African cichlids. I've kept them with just all kinds of different fish. In general, I have found that they always do the best when they're on a tank where they are not really going to be bothered by anybody and can just kind of do their own thing. So just keep that in mind when choosing tank mates. They will do well with pretty much anyone that we need them with. For feeding the fire eel, you're going to be looking at a lot of different foods. Bloodworms, blackworms, earthworms, shrimp. I would do cut up tilapia. They love all of this stuff. You're going to want to look at doing a fairly varied diet. One thing to consider with tank mates is that you need to find fish that will not outcompete them. They tend to be a little bit slower to getting food than other fish. The other way around this is to target feed with tweezers. They are very intelligent. They will learn to take food from the tweezers. Many of them have learned to come and eat food from my hand. So just keep that in mind when feeding eels. You want to make sure that they are getting enough. Fire eels are mostly nocturnal and mostly hide throughout the day. Sometimes you will get a specimen that will come out and be active during the day, but primarily that's not what you're going to find. If you're ever worried about if your fire eel is doing good, you haven't seen him in a while, or you do see him but he doesn't seem to be that active, come out a few hours after the lights have been off and there hasn't been any movement around the tank, and I almost guarantee you will be out and swimming around. If not, don't worry too much. They do tend to relax a lot and really like staying in their hides and being secure. Breeding and sexing fire eels is possible, however, it is a little bit more of a complicated process than is with most fish, so I will not really be discussing that in today's video. And that's pretty much all for this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. If I missed anything, please feel free to let me know, and if you guys have any of your own experiences or information that you would like to share, feel free to also leave that in the comments. I'll be checking them and responding to as many people as I can, as always. I will see you guys in the next one.